The Comedy MX Entertainment Channel spotlights unique videos found nowhere else. Visit world fairs, see atomic explosions, the golden age of trains, rare comedy features. You can even see the USA in your Chevrolet. It starts with a big capital E that stands for enjoy and never ends. So indulge your passions and binge watch all night.
How come people laugh?
People laugh for a lot of different reasons. Sometimes they laugh when something unexpected happens. Or when something embarrassing happens to a person who's very serious. People laugh when they see combinations of things that don't usually go together. Or when everyday actions like pouring a cup of coffee turn out differently than we expect. But there's one thing that really makes people laugh. That's getting a pie in the face.
How come astronauts don't eat the same things we do?
Actually, they eat about the same things, but in different forms. You see, there's no gravity in space, so soups and other liquids are put into squeeze tubes. Liquids in regular glass would float out and make an awful mess.
How come they can't eat with knives and forks like we do?
Well, with no gravity in space, a piece of roast beef wouldn't stay on a plate long enough to cut it. So astronauts often eat from special containers. The food itself is carefully chosen by doctors, so the astronauts will get the right variety of things to eat to help keep them strong and alert and healthy. Astronauts don't always have to eat out of containers, though. Some things, like thick puddings, can be eaten with a spoon.
I guess that's because pudding isn't so messy. How come streets have manholes?
Underneath most city streets are water pipes, sewer pipes, gas pipes, and wires for lights and telephones. Repairmen climb through the manholes and into the tunnels that hold these pipes and wires whenever they have to work on them.
Would a little manhole be called a kid hole? How come spiders make webs?
They spin webs to catch insects for food. Spiders force liquid silk out of their bodies, and this silk hardens in the air into strong, thin, stretchy thread. Flies and other insects get caught on the sticky silk, but a special oil on the spider's feet allows him to walk around on it. A rope of spider silk, 1 inch thick, would be stronger than this chain of metal.
Wow!
come I have to eat vegetables?
Well, for one thing, vegetables are plants, and plants give us energy.
But I learned in school that all energy comes from the sun.
That's where it starts. But plants can capture that energy from the rays of the sun, and we can't.
We can't?
No, tilt your head back. Doesn't the sun feel nice and warm?
Oh boy, I'll say.
That heat you feel is the energy of the sun hitting you, but it bounces off. It doesn't bounce off plants. It goes right in.
Oh, and we eat the plants and get the energy?
Right. So you see, this carrot can do something you can't.
But I can do something the carrot can't. I can eat vegetables.
How come cows give all the milk?
Oh, they don't give all the milk. In some countries, people drink goat's milk. And in others, they get milk from camels or reindeer or even horses. Milk just happens to be about the best food there is. And cows just happen to be nature's best milk factories. Grass and grain go in this end, and milk comes out the other. Did you know that all female mammals give milk to their babies to make them strong? Tigers showing off their stripes, prancing horses and other types, like antelopes with piercing eyes and dogs that are but half their size, and zebras and others such as, yes, you're right, rhinoceroses.
Wow!
How come people go on diets?
Because they know that being fat isn't healthy. Some people just love to eat. In fact, they can't stop sometimes, even though they know it isn't good for them. Carrying around 10 or 20 extra pounds can put an awful strain on your heart.
Boy, I'd hate to carry around 20 extra pounds all the time.
Cereal's good for me.
Because cereal made from grain, like wheat, oats, corn, or barley, contains carbohydrates.
Carbohydrates?
That's right, carbohydrates help keep you warm and give you energy. They come from the grains, which are actually different kinds of grasses. The cereal is made up of the seeds of these grasses.
Gee, who would have thought grass seed would be so delicious? How come a sponge is full of holes?
Well, a sponge is really an animal that uses its holes to capture its food. From the water around it, a sponge pulls in very tiny animals and plants through all those little holes. Plants can't do that.
Sponges may be animals, but I don't think they'd make very good pets. Come on, Spot. How come breakfast is so important?
Well, it's hard to get going in the morning, right? You're sleepy, you're tired, you haven't had any nourishment for 10 to 12 hours. You need fuel in your motor. The right kind of fuel.
Maybe I ate too good a breakfast.
How come they make pottery on a wheel?
A potter's wheel is really a tiny table that goes round and round. The potter puts a lump of clay in the center of this whirling table, makes a hole in it, and draws up the side of his pot like this. He can make thick walls or thin. He can make them go in or out. Doesn't that look easy?
Nothing to it.
How come people are bigger than they used to be?
Mostly because they eat better foods. Each year, football players seem to be getting bigger and stronger. Americans are gradually getting bigger because almost all of them get plenty of nourishing food from the time they're babies. And have you noticed how tall basketball players are becoming?
I can do that.
How come fish don't drown?
Because when a fish swallows water, he pushes it right out again through slits near the back of his head. These slits are called gills. In about the same way our lungs take oxygen from the air, the fish's gills take oxygen out of the water.
You're right. You sure are right. You do need gills to breathe underwater.